Hello and welcome to yet another episode of my story session. Today we have a very interesting personality in the studio and we'll be talking a lot of interesting stuff, but that's for the detailed video. The first video would be mostly talking about his journey in cybersecurity from where he started and where he is today. Please welcome Muslim Koser. Hi Muslim, welcome to the studio. And as you know, we have recently started this new way of talking to people, getting to know them, getting to understand them. So this particular is a my story session where we want to know who you are from tech as well as the non-tech background. So a quick introduction from your side would be helpful in that.
So the one thing I would like to tell you is that thanks a lot for calling me over here. Really thrilled to be part of these sessions, and I really value the association which we have for very long time. Whenever we speak, either on a formal setting or informal setting, I really enjoy talking to you. So really happy to be here. Now your question is that what kind of person I am, where did I start? I think it's a journey by itself. It's I think should be around like 25, 28 years of overall work experience in various fields of cybersecurity, where I started my career in terms of being a network engineer, purely working on Cisco products, and I worked for a company in Mumbai for my initial years, which were a part of Cisco. So everything Cisco related, configuration and maintenance and management of
And
networks.
doing that CCNA early in the age.
CCNA I did later actually.
Okay.
I did CCIE first
Okay.
because that was the main need and requirement of that organization. So we prepared for the CCIE qualifying exam first and did CCIE. At that point of time, I'm talking about 2000, 2001, that kind of a time which I did that. And then I thought that, okay, this is a good field to be. Software at that time was very nascent, early stage. Y2K had just gone over. So people used to talk about a lot of IT and tech. But networking was something which people used to talk about a lot. And that time, whenever you go into the market and ask what are the field in computers, it was no IT, no cyber, nothing
All
that
computer.
Computer. What do we have in computer? People used to say, okay, you have a hardware and you have a software.
Right.
So I chose something in between, which
The
was a networking,
network layer.
neither on the hardware side,
Not on the software development front, not on fixing hardware, but yeah, the network part.
in the
Okay.
whatever it connects both of these things. So that's how I chose. And I thought it will be a good thing to go forward. And over a period of time, I realized this is going to be my forte, and I'm going to work totally into the network field going forward. But you know that destiny has something else.
Some other
right?
plans
So
always.
that company ran into issues which I was working earlier, and then we had to look for other options. Now that time, I got into a company called Network Security Solutions, which was based in Pune, and they were purely into cybersecurity. At that time, the concept of vulnerability assessments and pen testing and all the pen testing word was not there that time.
Right.
It was mainly on the VA side kind of a thing which used to happen. So I had no idea of what cybersecurity is because I only know by I can work on Cisco iOS and I can write those commands.
Right.
You can tell me to design a network architecture, I would do that.
But this is not time to break into stuff,
nothing,
right?
yeah, because I don't know what the security problems are, security issues are.
Right.
And today I can actually relate with a lot of other people who are not in this field. They are on IT, but they might not know a lot about the security aspect of those things.
So interestingly, for anybody outside of security, it's like, oh, you are in cybersecurity. But once we get into the domain, we like there is so many areas.
That is what
so
it is
many
now.
Domains.
That is what
yeah,
it is now.
Yeah.
After networking, that was the first branch which came out. Cybersecurity is also something like that.
Yeah.
And then that's how my journey started there.
But NSS has been a name for a lot of veterans in the industry, a lot of good names from NSS. And you meet someone from NSS, it feels like, oh, yeah, this person has been there in the early game, right?
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
NSS was one of the very early movers into this field, and the company had done fantastically on those days. I think there are very few providers across India who used to provide these kind of services.
This kind of service, right?
And then we expanded that services outside India, and we set up the office in Malaysia, development center in Malaysia, moved headquarter from Pune to Malaysia.
Okay.
Did a setup. NSS was also involved in in setting up of Indian CERT.
Cert India,
CERT
right,
India.
right.
NSS was also involved in setting up a couple of certs in Southeast Asia as well.
Okay.
So I was involved in all these projects. So over a period of time, I got to experience all these things where
How do you actually set up a cert in a country, or a NAT cert, so to say?
yeah. So those kind of things, because at that time all these things were very, very new. Even people who were supposed to manage these organizations, they had no idea how this thing would look like. Today, you see CERT in is an agency which commands the respect because kind of the work which they are
Correct,
doing,
correct.
right? But whenever you start something new, there is always a kind of a black hole, how these things will happen. We were also learning. We also had to work very hard, understand ourselves first, and then make sure we transfer that knowledge to our
The
customers as
team
well.
who's
Yeah, who's
there
going to hand over.
run that particular
Yeah.
cert.
So after
Okay.
after implementation of all these certs, the company handled it for 6 months, 8 months, whatever the deal was that, and then we moved out from there. So that
Okay,
is how
okay.
these things happened. And then I worked in Malaysia for what, I don't know, 8-9 years, and then I came back to India, spent some time in Delhi again, because of NSS was from the industry veterans from the forces. They had connections in government, so we had some government projects which we did execute in Delhi.
And
So I was involved
still early age.
very early, very early.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm talking about. 2005, 6, 7 is what I'm talking
We
about.
have seen that era where people had no idea about cybersecurity in the corridors, and then you have to teach them and take them along
Right.
and guide them, right?
So that's how we did. And then I think by around 2008, 2009, I thought I know everything in cybersecurity. That is what I thought.
You thought
That
that
is what I
way.
thought at that point of time.
Okay.
But very soon it was supposed to be a kind of a self-realization that that is wrong. Uh, uh, because the reason why I thought was that, okay, so I have done, I know networking very well. I know auditing. I have done ISO 27001. I have done the n number of these certifications.
Right.
I have helped set up these organizations. I
Such
have
large
done.
organizations called
I
a
have.
cert of a country.
I have. Yeah.
So I've done that.
I have implemented a lot of ISO 27001. I was involved in auditing of these organizations. So
Right.
you talk about VA, you talk about PT, you talk about, even I had a business resilience certificate, BS. I think BS 7799.
7799 was ISO,
ISO.
27001.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, no. BS 779 was specifically for the disaster recovery.
Disaster recovery.
Thing. So that is something which I did as well. I thought, yeah, I've done.
I've done that.
Quite,
I know my
quite
stuff,
a bit of
right?
thing, and I know my stuff. And then I happened to join a company. So I, at that time around 2009, I moved out from NSS to a company called Eyesight Partners.
Eyesight Partner. It
Eyesight.
started at that point of time, right?
Yeah. So the company started few years back, and they started the operations in Pune, and then I was one of the early team members of the organization, and then I was involved in building the whole team over here.
But before you started, Eyesight was there. The presence was there in India, right?
They had just started. So I started very early.
I have an interesting memory from that point of time, because I was pretty much involved with a lot of intelligence agencies and police and other stuff. And you remember, maybe audience do not know, so we should touch upon that story just a quick little. When Eyesight started and the conversation started, everybody's like, what company is this? Why are they talking so much about these aspects? Is it a really good company, or is it really a shady company? That kind of thought process started in a lot of people, and I have heard that, I've seen that, you have heard and faced it. So maybe a quick touch upon on that would help.
I think it's more of a perception thing, because anything new which comes in, it takes some time to digest. So at that time, we were talking about cyber threat intelligence. Now this was a totally new buzzword into the
Cyber
market.
threat intelligence. So it's A, the internet connected, B, again the third intelligence. Now suddenly becomes like, okay, this is a private company trying to act like an intelligence agency.
And we used to, and when we used to go, it was very early days at that time, because intelligence by itself is a forte of any government
Correct.
department,
Correct.
because we have so many intel departments. They are supposed to do all these things. What kind of thing this private company is doing? What cyber thing these guys are doing? So even when at that point of time, when we used to visit our even corporate customers, I remember we visited one of the biggest bank in India that time as a pitch to provide our services. And the question which was asked from that CISO over there at that time was that isn't this job of a government department?
Why are you
Why
doing
are
it?
you doing this? And who gave you right
Oh,
who gave you right to
who
do
gave you
this?
right to do this?
Yeah, company will do those kind of things. So maybe that is the perception, and on very early days, which people thought that they are doing something which is not directly in line of
An IT company doing cybersecurity work. No, this is something on walking on the edge, right?
you today you talk about what is cyber threat intelligence. People who don't know intelligence will talk about that. So that is
So we will come to that, and maybe in the next video about one focused discussion about cyber threat intelligence, we will come to that. But yes, so post NSS, eyesight, and then eyesight got acquired.
eyesight. Yeah, we worked with eyesight. Eyesight got acquired with by FireEye somewhere in 2015-16. I'm not very
Yeah,
sure, but it was around 16.
around 16,
Around
right?
16, it got acquired.
Yeah, around 16. Both of us got acquired at the same time. Remember?
You went to Quick Heal and
I went to Quick Hill, you went to Fire, and we were talking about that. Okay, both of us are into the similar now.
right.
Right.
So that time 16, and then a couple of years with FireEye, because FireEye was a bigger name at that point of time, and because the main business of FireEye was only the boxes. They used to push the boxes and their sandbox technology and all those things, but they had no idea of how to do services side of or intelligence side. That's where the eyesight plugged the gap.
Mandiant was already part of the
Mandiant
Fire
had,
team.
yeah,
at
it
that
was
time.
already acquired. I think
Yeah.
Mandiant was acquired by them in 2012 or something.
And then eyesight got.
Then eyesight got
yeah.
acquired. So, but they always ran as a separate entity within the org. Although it was part of FireEye, but Mandiant was always a separate inside the. And same way this acquisition was also there. So
Right.
we were also kind of separate, and it was the
So
product which was sold in
three
market.
pillars.
Yeah, product that was sold in the market was eyesight intelligence.
Okay.
Even FireEye did not
So
change the name.
Mandiant as a incident response service, FireEye as a product, and eyesight as a service.
Yes. All these three things. So FireEye is a detection and is IR.
Mandiant
so
is the IR
so
part
all
of it.
those things.
What shaked that? Before you even jumped on that, what shaked that? Enough of doing a job. Now let me go ahead and start something on my own.
So it was not enough of doing job. It was more of a whatever we are doing. Are we able to address customers' issues or not? Are we able to provide value to the customers or not? So at that time, our focus was little narrow because we were based in India and our focus was very Indian focus. And the outcome which we used to deliver to our Indian customers, they did not understand the value of that whatever was delivered, because the things which were delivered to customers was fine in the form of a finished intelligence report. So the way it used to work was a researcher will do something and then analyst will do something and then kind of a very beautiful big report. Nobody reads that. So issue is that
And
in
even
India,
if you read, it's like, now what? I've read it. It's a nice novel book type stuff.
so it became more of a kind of a newspaper publication, and I'm reading a news blog or something.
Right.
And we never thought that how people will actually implement these things into their real life. Consume how they will do it. Although it was a matured concept in Western countries,
Yeah.
It was
But we were still growing up at that.
India
point of
was
time.
very early stage of that thing. They
Right.
were not ready to accept, and that is the reason at that point of time, even eyesight or FireEye had very few Intel customers.
Okay.
Very few that time. Although the product was nice, everything was good, but customers were not able to connect. So we thought, let's do something where we are able to show the customer how these things or how Intel has a value.
So how do you get the intel and how do you utilize it?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it is a proactive thing. Intelligence always have to be proactive. It cannot be reactive. After incident has happened, and if you are looking at the data after incident, oh, my data is available in X side, Y side, dark net.
It is available in dark net.
Whatever,
Yeah,
this what buzzwords are there. So in that point of context, your data is gone.
Correct.
You are compromised. Your data is available outside. So after that, you have to go and do IR, not subscribe to an Intel company.
So incident response time has already kicked in.
Came. Yeah. So the intelligence is much prior. So
prior to that,
you have to be prepared in a way where these things should not even affect you. That's where the intelligence comes into picture, and that's what we wanted to do at that point of time when we started our journey as Volon.
So
At
that's
that
where the
time, yeah,
Volon came into picture.
that's where we came into the picture, and then although we started with very small, although we depend on our connections, people like you, people like all of others whom we knew very well in the market, to spread the word and say that these are the guys who are doing it. Although product might not look as fancy, startups always have initial challenges.
Correct,
So
correct.
although but we grew over a period of time.
And you will.
We grew over,
Right.
so, and I'm really proud the kind of
The
product which we
best
made.
part was very right team. From leadership till the mid-level team, I have interacted with most of them. Like the real core team who were able to produce good results.
Yeah, I'm really lucky to have that, because it is very difficult to have highly motivated people. You will not find these kind of people now. It is almost, I
Or
won't say impossible, but it is very difficult.
or
Because
is that a lesson for people to learn? Because if you are dedicated and you're really good at something, you will grow very good.
for that, there are numerous examples which people can definitely
Right,
refer.
right.
From your time and from my time, our focus used to be always, yeah, I have to learn this. If I learn this, then this is going to help me in this career like this,
In
and
future,
this
it
is
will help me.
how it's going to be. Today, that mindset is not there for the kids who are coming today, who are coming right out of the college. I take a lot of interviews over a period of time. And then while we look at the resumes, and when we look to hire, first question they ask is how much you are going to pay.
Nobody's asking how much I'm going
Nobody
to
is
learn.
nobody is
But
asking.
let's hold that thought. We will get some good suggestion for youngsters who are coming out of college and want to get into field. But let's continue the Volon journey from there.
Yeah, so for Volon, I think we were bootstrapped. We throughout the journey we were bootstrapped, and we kept doing our small bit, grew slowly. We were very lucky to have some initial customers. You helped us initially as well to connect to few of them. So we are thankful to you. But and those initial customers were our backbone.
Right.
Even today, they are with us. It's been like what, even after what, 6 7 years now. Even today, they are with us because we provided them kind of support which they needed. We provided them kind of outcome which they needed, and those customers have seen our journey from what we used to deliver there at that point of time, and what we deliver now today.
Okay.
So it's a huge.
So they have also seen the improvement.
It's a
and all
huge
that.
journey which we have gone through along with our customers.
Right.
So and people appreciate it, that fact as well, because it was tough journey for us. It was not always easy for a big
Running
customer.
a startup and
No,
this thing.
I'm
Again,
saying on the other side,
in the cybersecurity industry, it is difficult, and for the company, it becomes
to
difficult.
trust you.
Should I trust these
Yes.
guys? Will they fly by night? Will they support me for a longer? And it's difficult even for a customer to
Very difficult.
go
Very
that way,
difficult.
right?
I'm personally really thankful to all those people who trusted in us, and that actually gave us initial capital or running capital to at least grow.
And not take investment from
Not
outside.
take any investment from anywhere, and then that's how we ran.
So how long was this whole journey from start of Volon till the point of acquisition?
It was 4 years. I mean, just over 4 years.
So that's a very good timeline for any deep tech startup to come and create something, prove it, get acquired.
And the important thing that in this 4 years, there are a couple of years which were during the COVID time.
Ah, yes.
So we were really worried because before COVID, we used to make so many visits to various customers. We used to go in person, talk
Get the
to
personal
them,
connect with them.
get the personal connect, have those kind of meetings, and we used to go all over the place and then have those kind of things. And suddenly COVID came and everything, lockdowns and all this thing came. We thought we are going to have hard time, but fortunately, it was opposite, because along with COVID, people started working from home.
Right.
A lot of people started working from home, and with the working from home, the threats are different.
So
People,
you needed different indicators, different
yes, everything
idea.
changed.
The whole
Yeah.
intelligence is required in a different way.
Because nobody was prepared for that kind of environment, to ensure that there is one laptop, people who are working from home, same laptop their kids are also using for their
Online
school
classrooms.
work. People, you are doing your housework also, because everybody did not have a
Correct,
laptop.
correct,
So
correct.
what they were given is a VPN connection. Okay, you use VPN connection, connect to the office and start working. but the machine is one, same machine, and then so threats are much higher.
Right.
So we at that point of time we saw the cyber threats spike, and that actually worried a lot of companies, and that's where we were able to connect with a lot of companies as well. And
Okay,
we
okay.
actually grew exponentially during that time because of the kind of quality of monitoring which we did,
The kind of
outcome which
value
we provided.
provided
We
to the
provided.
company.
So
Yeah.
although we were thinking that things might not go as good because
Expected.
of
Yeah.
this thing, but we actually grew. We acquired so many customers during that period, and we were able to provide that value. So
So
in a way, it was good for us.
yes, and one question there comes for a lot of people who are running their startups and stuff. Should I get acquired now, or should I build it even further and get higher valuation and get acquired later on with a bigger value? What helped you take that decision? Because if there is a good acquisition on the table, if there's a good deal, let's go ahead with that.
See, only thing is that you should not be stubborn. There are a lot of people who are extremely stubborn in terms of a goal which they have set for a very long time. Unless I reach that goal, I'm not going to do anything.
Unless I celebrate my silver jubilee in this company, I will not do.
So you should not be stubborn. You should be flexible. First of all, whatever things comes to you, analyze, and based upon that analysis, you take a decision. It does not matter whether you would like to get acquired now or later, or big valuation, small valuation. So for that thing, there are a lot of study and vision needs to be there.
Correct.
That okay, I'm doing this thing today. I would need more capital to expand, and to get that capital, I have to dilute XYZ
Right
percentage. Whether even if I dilute and if I get capital, whether I'm going to be able to get to that
now.
numbers.
Point B from point A right now. Yeah.
So it depends upon based upon which system you are doing, and those kind of things. So it is always important for us to ensure that analysis is proper, the understanding is proper, and we have to ensure that don't get stuck, somewhere. So that's what we did as well.
Be as agile as you started being an entrepreneur, right?
You have to.
You have to.
Otherwise, what happens is that we see a lot of startup failing. We see a lot of people who do not get desired results. Why? Because everybody has their own opportunities which comes along the way. Now, while you're on the way, if you don't analyze and decide, okay, this is something which I want to do a full stop, and this is what I should take, and not move forward along as I'm doing. The analysis has to be
analysis
there.
has to be
has
done.
to be there.
The cost benefit analysis has to be done at that point.
Otherwise, if you are stubborn, okay, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not looking for acquisition. I'm not looking for this. It's your call. Everybody does not get. So we have seen companies who would have a beautiful valuation at this point of time, and no, even they have a good valuation at a particular time, but they were not able to carry forward. 3 years down the line, they stuck. Okay, I would like to go to 10 times of what I have today, but in 3 years down the line, they are 1x of what they were. So we have seen those as well. You have to have that kind of thing to grow. So for us, company which is top 5 in the world in cybersecurity, and if that company is talking to us, why should I stop?
It's a golden opportunity.
Why should I even think about it? We could have said, no, we want to move ahead, but does that make sense? That is some question you have to ask yourself. That's how we did as well.
But then you made good money out of the whole acquisition. What all did you do with that? The whole
money was never part of that. For me, money has never been something which is I'm looking to buy a mansion, or I'm looking to buy big cars and have these things. So leave the money portion out, because even with
but it was a good deal.
Even with this, even see, you have to understand that we were early in the stage. Our billings were only Indian billings.
Right.
We were
looking at a very small market.
Right? Although we get good multiple, but it is not billions of dollars which you are going to get out of that. So because of the market size was small, our customer base was small, relatively small. So, but
how is it going now with support of Fortinet, and then you getting free hand to do the way you were building? And
it's excellent. I think normally in these kind of circumstances, what happens is, so once a big organization acquires you, and then normally they will tear you apart and align people here and there.
Correct.
But we were extremely lucky to have we have been running the product as we were running in our own startup days, and there has been tremendous support from them as well. So we are able to grow exponentially with the help of
So would you still call
international
it as
team.
a startup inside the large
It
company?
is
It's still that way.
100%.
Yeah.
100%, because there is nothing has changed on that part. My team is the same team. Everybody who reports to me still reports to me. Only thing is that earlier they all used to report to me and I report to God. Today I report to somebody. That is the only difference which has changed. Otherwise, during that time, if we would have taken an investment, then I would have been reporting to an investor.
To an
Right.
investor.
So
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
answerable. Now I'm answerable to somebody else.
yeah. Right.
And who is giving us excellent support. So what is wrong in that?
And the whole team is now pumped up that, oh, we did something interesting, we got
Absolutely,
acquired. And
absolutely.
okay. So then goes the second part of discussion is more of personal part of it. One thing which and we have spoken about it, we can bring it out to the video now. How many times have you faced a situation or a funny instance just because of your name?
From my childhood.
Okay.
What I remember is the first incident which I actually remember is I went for my interview for the school. I don't remember whether it was the class first standard or lower KG. I don't
Yeah.
remember that, but I still remember the setting, and I still remember the how this question was asked to me. The first question they asked, "What is your name?" I said, "My name is Muslim." So the immediate answer from there, "Hey, I'm not asking you religion. I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a name." I thought that's my name. The same question I've been facing all through my life. Even today, I do that.
So even today, people ask, Muslim is fine, but what's your
What's
name?
your name? Yeah. So that's very common. I'm used to it.
And it's a good fun, right? It's a good fun. Okay. So education wise, did you got into the networking first, or it was something else, and then you picked up networking as a career?
No, actually, the thing was that I did my master's in electronics and communication. So somehow the network connect was always there.
Yeah.
And during that time, I came into the field of networking. That there was, the AppTech and these kind of institutes were there. And at the same time, there was another institute called Asset International. They started the courses of networking, and then they used to do help you to certify for novel network
Novel
was
certificates.
novel
Novel
certification was
certificates.
there.
Right.
So that's where I started. Even before I did completed my studies.
Okay.
So I started with my certificate as certified knowledge engineer. So that's from there I started with the networking side, where the novel network was the first network which we used to set up as a LAN and the coaxial cables.
The
And
Stone Age Active Directory replacements, right? Or
ah,
rather, the
it
Active
was
Directory kind of
Active
replaced it
Directory was
later
there,
on.
and it was totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah, thin client and the network
And the
servers.
network server,
We used to
right,
have
right.
boot ROMs, have a coaxial cable, have a network, and it used to boot from the ROM and
Network
connect to the
server.
network server. So all those things we used to do. That was what I was studying.
It was fun. It was fun.
Was
Now, if
definitely.
you remember those, it's like nostalgic. That
It was
okay.
different. And around that time, the Windows was 3.1. 3.11 came after that, and 3.11 used to boast that 3.1 has a network features. And now you can do a work group networking in 3.11. So all those
Connect
things.
with another computer in the
Another
network.
yeah. So all those things we used to do at very early stage. I'm talking about 98, 97,
But
98.
it was all tech journey throughout, and
Yes.
very early interest in the whole tech part
And
of
this
it. Yeah.
the important thing is that I started little early. Even while I was doing my graduation, I was working. While I was doing my post graduation, I was working. So by the time I came out of my PG, I already have 4 years of experience at that point of
Oh
time.
wow.
So
Yeah.
and 4 years of experience with all these certifications. So I had.
So you have studied it. You have got certifications in that, and you have got at least some hands-on on that you have played in a real world environment.
Yes,
And yeah.
good hands-on actually.
So that's what we see missing in kids these days from the college. They want like, oh, I want to go college and have fun. It's my work-life balance. Once they come out and start working, they're more serious about their weekend and evenings than the work part. And then if someone comes and says you should spend 70 hours a week, it suddenly the noise starts at the peak of the so we have seen that. But if you know kids today, or if you say that students do come to you for interview and other stuff, if you just tell them, was listen to me, in next 2 minutes I'm telling you, if you take this journey, you would be in a very good shape in future, what that would be?
That's what I see. What I just spoke to you is in my DNA, right? That's how I grew. and that is what I know very well, that this works. A lot of time the kids come to me and ask, what should we do? A lot of time what happens is that they finish their engineering and then come to me, and then I said, okay, try if you are, because like you are here, there are thousands of other people or students are there. You are one of them.
Yeah, one of them.
You are not different because you have done BE, he has done BE, he has done BE. What is the difference? So you have to identify what is the differentiator which you can create while you come out. Because in our times, IT and these things were not there enough. We in my hometown there was one college which used to provide which is to which is an engineering college. Today there are 100 engineering colleges in that city.
Yeah, in city, right.
So, yeah, so there are 100 colleges right
The
now.
city of food.
City of
We
food.
will
Indore.
come to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are 100 colleges, and imagine the competition which these kids might have who are coming out, and everybody is getting everybody is engineer. Or that time, if you're not getting into engineering, you go to the BSc and you do a different journey is different. For today, everybody does BE. BSc is like nobody does those things.
Simple graduation.
Simple graduation. People go for engineering degrees only.
And then they end up queuing in the same place. That okay. So what is your differentiating factor?
What
so
is
you
your
should
differentiator?
start identifying and building up that differentiating.
So I always tell them, boss, start moment you enter into an engineering college, you start there. You start building your differentiator there. So as I told you, by the time I came out of my college, I already had 3-4 years of experience, which helped me a lot. So that's why I'm trying to tell people as well that once you are into the college, okay, spend first year, get relaxed and have understand everything, and from second year onwards, for those 3 years, start building your differentiator. Identify what you would like to do. Set your goals, so that by the time you come out of your engineering, you are different. If you want to go into the software development field, you will have your GitHub profile will show that I have done so many open source projects.
That's something even Alok suggests a lot of kids these days, that okay, create that college cybersecurity club and then be participating in that club. Do beyond your academics what you can show. So
that is the only thing which you should. So, but what happens is today is the glittery thing is that I would like to have money. I would like to have exposure is a lot. People would like to have spend a lot of money. And at some time we'll talk again and talk about this all bug bounty
we'll
stuff
figure
and all
out.
nonsense,
Yeah.
and how to earn easy money. And then you see other people, he is spending that money, he is traveling here and there. You get motivated for that, but you don't get motivated for your own career. That is the problem.
So you get motivated to one part of it, which is the, so to say, ethical hacking part of the education, and learn VAPT and then do bug bounties and earn. But the base is still not strong, and you're not working on that base of yours. Yeah. So that's for the kids and people who are in the college and coming out of college. With 28 years of experience in industry, how would you guide a person who is moving from mid-level career to a senior level career as a business leader? Seniority is increasing. What guidance would you give to them?
So it all depends upon which ladder you're trying to climb. So once you get into a system provides you two kind of two major
Two
steps,
channels or two paths.
right?
Yeah.
One is you grow technically, where you will go from one technical thing to another, or there you will have to ensure that you upgrade yourself technically enough so that you are able to lead a technical team and perform those kind of tasks. Another thing is grow on the management side, right? So there are two ladders, two paths which you can take. Both are equally efficient, both are equally good. It all depends upon what you would like to do.
And what's your choice?
What's your choice? Like if you would like to go towards the management path, the important thing is you have to acquire leadership skills, you have to acquire management skills, you have to acquire how to manage people. Because without that path will not grow. If you become a techie and you try to manage people as a techie, you are likely to fail. You're likely to fail.
Yeah.
Because you have to change the way of doing things, and based upon that change which you bring into yourself, you have to
and if
grow.
you are way too smart and always doing the sweet talk and other stuff and try to bring that into the tech part of the ladder, you'll still be stuck, because people will get to know that
you know nothing.
You know nothing. It's all air around, right? Good. Okay. So now we move on to the personal side of Muslim. On a personal front, Muslim is everybody is a foodie. We know that. Muslim is a street food person or a fine dine person.
I'm more of a street food person. I normally I'm a chilled out. I don't care where I'm eating, as long as the food is good. So I like good food, irrespective of where I'm
So
eating.
that brings the
I'm
previous
from
part of
Indore,
it.
right? So I'm from
You're
Indore.
from
So
Indore, so Indore is known for the street food.
Yeah.
So what are some of the favorite joints of Indore?
see
Apart from
today
everybody in the country knows that if you are talking about Indore, you have to go to Sarafa,
Chappan.
Chappan. These two are the places. But beyond these two,
See, the thing is that other different places are. I think there are much better YouTubers and reel makers who can tell about those places.
but what are your favorite one apart from the Sarafa Bazaar and the Chappan
So
Dukan?
the problem is that I left Indore 23 years back.
Oh,
Right, because I came out from my first job around 2001. I came out from there, and then I've been, although it's my hometown, my parents are there. I keep visit regularly, but for me, it is more of a olden time. So whenever I go there, I search the old places.
old places, right?
So I will still go to Chappan, but I will not go to the newer Chappan. I will look for the Joy hot dog. I will look for the small old thing which I used to have that time.
The nostalgic
Search,
taste.
yeah. So basically, I search the old nostalgia. Today, if you go to Indore, it has changed tremendously.
But
Right.
the whole love of non-veg and other stuff cannot go without mentioning Ranipura's
I lived
street
there.
style
I lived there.
kebab and stuff.
I spent my childhood there. So I used to get down and used to
Get
uh,
those yummy smoky barbecues out of the street, right?
definitely.
Okay. What other passion apart from technology? When you are not in tech line, what else you're doing?
So normally, I normally like to relax, spend more time with family, and if possible, roam around, make short trips, and come back. I'm not like you,
Or
who takes takes
even like
takes your
Alok,
car,
huh?
not
Or
like
even like
that,
Alok, right?
that takes your bike or takes your car and go for 500 kilometers drive. I would rather take a longer
You
trail.
can say 500 kilometer from me. I will not get offended. You cannot say 500 kilometer for Alok. Alok may get offended because just 500 kilometers. if,
So it is too much for me. So
but yeah, other than that, what are the passions you have?
so I one thing, although I was extreme. So being in India and you live in India, it is not possible that you're not passionate about cricket, right? So that's what I used to be. Although I am still, but not to that level which I used to be earlier because of obvious reasons of the
Being
time
busy and
and busy
occupied,
being.
and too many crickets happening. There's too much of cricket all
Yeah, so
around.
I'm not very fan of IPLs and all those. I definitely very fan of the Indian team whenever they play.
Outside,
Yeah,
yeah.
so whenever India team plays, I really follow that. But IPL and I can't. I'm not able to connect to that very easily.
Okay. Uh, you have been traveling a lot for our work. Work-wise, a lot of travel has been happening. And I know people who travel a lot and even otherwise have some kind of hobby of collecting some stuff. I know people who have a hobby of collecting tea coasters from different restaurants and different brands. And they officially take it, not just scoop it off from there. But yeah, there are people who have that. So, any such crazy collections you maintain?
Not much, but definitely I would. I maintain some souvenirs wherever I go. So mostly it used to be the magnets. So whenever I go, the souvenirs are in the form of magnets or postcards.
Uh,
Is what I'm old guy. I'm old guy. So I still follow that.
Old school fashion and
Yes,
passion. Eh?
yes.
Nice. Okay. One last question about this, and when you are catching up with families and friends, and you have all non-techies around. Apart from being a tech support for them, which is like for everybody, we have this. Computer, you fix my phone, and you. Apart from that, what advice do you give to people who are non-techie from the cybersecurity side of it?
See, today the situation is so bad in terms of frauds which are happening, and that is affecting your families and friends. These kind of frauds, you can talk about the SIM frauds or cyber frauds or banking frauds, or people do a call center and the jamtara stuff.
Right.
Those kind of things are what is happening day in day out. So I did few Zoom sessions with my extended family, my cousins, my kids, my cousins' children, because they are all youngsters. They should know what are things which are safe, what are things which are unsafe. So I did those kind of Zoom sessions and talked about basic awareness, how to identify a call is a fraud call or a genuine call, how to identify these basic things, because that's what they need to know. That is what they face in their daily lives. Right? So that is something which I talk and guide whenever we get together.
We get together, right? Okay, cool. Nice catching up with Muslim. This is more of my story of Muslim. Let's catch up again in the same studio sometime later to discuss more about the more technical part of the domain. But that's it for today. Anything which you felt that I have not asked and you should actually tell to the audience?
You are extremely well prepared. So you read your questions from
See, the
from
questions
your
are there.
notes. So you are extremely comprehensive. So although I'm sure I have gone over and above your questions in terms of answering.
No,
them.
but that's important because that's where the personal things comes out and people get to know a lot many things even I didn't know even after knowing you from last so many years. But it's good to know, and I'm glad that even audience will get to know about that.
Only one thing which I would like to mention, audience, is that you remember we spoke about how I'll tell how I got introduced with Rohit.
Okay.
So it's very interesting story. It was during my eyesight times. At that point of time, we were looking at some threats towards the Commonwealth Games, and you were heading
Technology
the
of
technology
Commonwealth
part
Games.
or security part of Commonwealth Games. So I remember I met I think Alok or somewhere in a conference, and then I was sharing this. This is what we identified based upon our intel and threat actors which are doing.
What kind of
I
attacks
just wanted to
Commonwealth
share.
Games would expect to
Yes,
have? Yeah.
so I shared that piece of information at that point of time, and then at that time you were somewhere there only. So then Alok introduced two of us. Don't talk to me. Talk to this guy who is doing
Okay,
it.
not
Not
this
this
Alok,
Alok.
not
Not
this
this
Alok, the
Alok.
other Alok from the one of the intelligence agencies,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Yeah, but I think that was one of the conferences we bumped in, right?
In a conference, yes. So I think that is something which the first time which we got introduced, and I think it's been really pleasure
It's a
meeting you all the
pleasure.
time.
I've always personally looked upon him that okay, if I need something which is getting technical beyond my level, I just give him a call. Can you explain me it in chat GPT style so that I can act more smarter with others?
You are way smarter than me. So.
But thanks a lot for joining. Let's catch up for the next recording sometime soon.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. Absolutely.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.